believe the Berlin situation at the present time is a very, very hot thing, and I think by shown firmness that we will be able to cope with this situation. I don't believe Khrushchev will go to war. I think that the people over there will throw them out like they have done with these other leaders that they've had. They show discontent, and I believe this whole thing will...
Those people are fighting for freedom, just as we are. I think Mr. Kennedy's right. I think by all means, we should defend Berlin. By all costs, whatever it takes. I do. I think we should defend it. And if any event, if Russia wants to step in...
Well, I do think the President's right. And I think we do have to take a stand. And in fact, I believe your government said the same thing, that somewhere along the line, we've given in so much that today I think all of us have to feel that we reached that ultimate goal where backing up has ended.
Well, I think that the President is doing right by trying to negotiate, but he should not appease Khrushchev because appeasement in the past has failed. Well, I think the United States should definitely stick to their guns and not let anybody...
It's a serious problem, and I think the President has done the right thing. But somehow I feel that in his speech, he seems to give me the impression that he still may be appeasing the Russians. He still hopes that there could be a possibility of negotiating with the Russians. But as people know, in the past we've negotiated with the Russians, but we've gotten no place at all.
Good morning. It's approximately 8 o'clock here at Checkpoint Charlie on Friedrichstrasse in West Berlin. I'm Lieutenant Bainbridge, assigned to the 3rd Battle Group, 6th United States Infantry, hometown Detroit, Michigan. The military police and myself are on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week here on Friedrichstrasse. We're fully combat ready with our weapons and ammunition for any eventuality that the VoPos, who are stationed some 15 yards to my rear, might decide to make. The VoPos that we find on duty here on the border are hardened communists. They are dedicated to their cause. They have been indoctrinated in the beliefs and ideologies of the communist philosophy since their youth. These VoPos have been brought in specially for this duty. They are the only trusted persons here on the border.
I've been out in the city all day on both sides of the sector border, and you could feel the noose now fastened around the neck of West Berlin, tightening almost hourly. For the first time for years, armed troops of the British, American and French forces are patrolling the whole way along the concrete wall that now divides the city, and not just with small arms. In the American sector, massive tanks and armoured vehicles are poised within 100 yards of the East Berlin boundary, their guns purposefully aimed straight ahead, and their crews on the alert. So tonight, through the heart of this divided city, the Western troops and the East German forces, with civilians standing behind them, watch each other through binoculars and note the slightest movement. And yet, for all the tenseness, another element remains. As I stood beside one of the American tanks, 3 coaches came through out of East Berlin. They were US servicemen and their families who'd been on a tour of the eastern sector. But they did have a radio car with them in constant communication with the West.
Our loudspeakers told the communist guards that to shoot a refugee was murder, that they would be held accountable, that they could not claim orders from higher up. Murder is always murder. On a Friday afternoon, they shot an 18-year-old boy as he was trying to scale the wall into West Berlin. They let him bleed to death on their side of the wall. Then they took his lifeless body and took him away. His name was Peter Fechter. He was an apprentice bricklayer. We mourned him on our side of the wall, a few yards from where he fell. Peter Fechter was one of 50 people who died trying to escape during the first year of the war. We mourn them all. We honor their names. They will be remembered as long as we live. At 12 o'clock on August 13th, on the anniversary of the war, West Berlin paused for 3 minutes of silence. We still wave to our families in East Berlin, and they still dare to wave back. We cannot be together.
There are many people in the world who really don't understand, or say they don't, what is the great issue between the free world and the communist world. Let them come to Berlin. There are some who say that communism is the wave of the future. Let them come to Berlin. And there are even a few who say that it's true that communism is an evil system, but it permits us to make economic progress. Lass sie nach Berlin kommen. Let them come to Berlin. Freedom has many difficulties, and democracy is not perfect. But we have never had to put a wall up to keep our people in, to prevent them from leaving us. So let me ask you as I close to lift your eyes beyond the dangers of today to the hopes of tomorrow, beyond the freedom merely of this city of Berlin or your country of Germany, to the advance of freedom everywhere, beyond the wall to the day of peace with justice, beyond yourselves and ourselves to all mankind. Freedom is indivisible. And when one man is enslaved, all are not free. When all are free, then we can look forward to that day when this city will be joined as one, and this country and this great continent of Europe in a peaceful and hopeful globe. When that day finally comes, as it will, the people of West Berlin can take sober satisfaction in the fact that they were in the front lines. All free men, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin. And therefore, as a free man, I take pride in the words, Ich bin ein Berliner.